Bro, Daniel, what you doing, bro?
I'm smoking crack. That's what I'm doing. Let's talk about it. My 2016 Victory Highball.
This my shit. Oh, tell her you're not my bitch. This my shit. Oh, tell her get off my dick. Digi dash, nitro gas. Time is passing, quick. I just want tonight to last. Life go fast, it tick.
Hey, what's going on, guys? Welcome back to the channel. The running lights are not working in the rear of the bike. It has brake lights, so whenever I wrap the exhaust, I found out that whoever had worked on the bike previously, like before me owning it, had actually left some of the wires underneath the rear fender actually hanging, and then the rear tire actually chewed them up, which caused a lot of broken wires to happen, which then pretty much just made the bike not have any running lights, only brake lights. So I'm gonna fix that today. There's really not much else to say. We just got a little bit of stuff that I wanted to do tonight, so I'm just gonna film it and we'll go ahead and get started. Underneath here, directly under this fender actually, there's wires running all the way across the top like I had talked about earlier, but somebody didn't tuck them away where they're supposed to go, so they were dragging on the tire as I've been riding the bike, causing the running lights to not work. I got an idea. Maybe this will help. Yeah. Wow, that works amazingly well. So now we get these two bolts out. The cover comes right off. I don't know why, but they had holes built into it. So that way you could put additions onto the bike. Which I guess kind of makes sense, because that's very much a Polaris thing to do. Stick that right there. I am assuming this fender will come off. I don't know what else these bolts would be for. Haha. So now we're here. Where did it get torn up? Right around here is where it actually got eaten up. So now we gotta unwrap this and do some repairs. Where's my heat gun? I wanna try something. So anyways, let me get my little things that I'm talking about. So we got these. I'm sure everybody, where is it? We got these. I'm sure everybody has seen these on the internet. They are like little soldering connectors. You put the two wires in there, heat it up, and then it's got some solder in the middle of it that actually apparently is supposed to melt with something as simple as a heat gun, and you all of a sudden have soldered wires. So I got a bunch of these and a bunch of normal connectors, but I'm really interested in these because I've never used them. So it's gonna be the first time I try them out. Oh God, I definitely just opened this upside down. I am special. I can't believe I just did that. So it looks like this is gonna be it, the red. So 1, 2, 3, 4. We got the reds. I'm gonna clean that in a second. So let's see, how long a wire do we need for the red? The red is, oh no, stop. The red is gonna be in place of the purple, which the purple is only, I'm just gonna cut a little bit. So we only need like that much red. Damn, I got a lot of wire. This is pretty nice wire too. I like this. So we plug this into here. Yep, that's hot. This is definitely not gonna reach. Cool. Ah, shit. All right, where's the lighter? What's up, bitch? Fuck you, Nick.
I had a feeling there was another motherfucking Z owner up in this stank ass house.
Yeah.
I thought I smelled engine failure.
I accidentally hit the wall.
What do you mean you accidentally?
I accidentally the tent.
Holy shit, Daniel!
What? It's not the first blemish in this place.
It's not like we can hide this.
Hey man, that was already there. That was already
I
there.
know, but
That was already there. Nobody's gonna know. That was already there, man. All right, let's see how well this works. So stick that in there. So we'll get that like right in the middle. Don't know how well this is gonna work, but we'll give it a shot. See, is it gonna melt it?
bro, Daniel, what you doing, bro?
I'm smoking crack. That's what I'm doing. All right, well now let's do this red one. There we go.
Man, this thing feel like a bitch.
So to make you feel like a bitch?
Yeah.
What you mean that thing make you feel like one? You are one. Yo, Nick, you want to check these out? These are pretty cool. So you know how normal like things work, right? How you crimp them? Well, this has some solder in the middle of it. So you just push them together and mesh the wires in the middle. And then
it's like heat shrink.
Yeah, and then it solders it.
I've used heat shrink, but I've never used it with solder in the middle, and that's pretty cool.
It is cool. So now the wires are soldered together.
Daniel, I gotta say one thing to your audience.
Yes?
I really think videos are undervalued and underappreciated.
Thank you. I appreciate that. I'm sure a lot of people who comment on my videos will say the same thing, because they usually do. This is what videos are going to be from now on, is us just in here all working on different shit, talking shit to each other.
All right,
Y'all like this shit? Leave a like, comment down below. Let me know.
yeah, and if you don't like it,
I'm totally fine with doing this, because this takes no effort at all.
yeah, if you don't like it, fuck you.
Yeah, if you don't like my shit, leave.
No, they can stay. Just,
Oh yeah, definitely stay, but...
yeah, just fuck.
Yeah, just fuck you. My running light should be fixed. Actually, I should be able to just go ahead and turn this on. Yo, we got running lights. Look at this. We done. Do a little rap. A little rappy rap.
I'm gonna kill you.
Don't, I need him to pay the other half of rent.
What?
I said don't kill him. Let's make sure this works one more time. Oh yeah. Foot brake. It looks like the brake's just on. There's no way those got hooked up backwards. Don't tell me that's just a brake light now. Damn. Oh boy. There's no way I did these backwards. I don't believe that. So apparently these wires were literally just twisted together and taped. I am so glad that I did this. Oh, they were hooked up backwards. Okay. Somebody put in a fucking aftermarket taillight, twisted the wires together, and then electrical taped it. There we go. Now it's working properly. And then this is just the running light. I'm gonna just go ahead and take the tail light out so I can work on it instead of having it on the fender. There we go. Got some quick connects on here because this is something that is actually going to come off and on the fender more than once in the future, most likely. I could hardwire it, but any future owners after that are probably just going to get pissed off and have a hard time like I have been. So purple goes to blue, and then red goes to white. So I got them all somewhat connected, but don't need to let any of them touch. Turn this on. So now the running light is on, which before the constant power for the running light was hooked up to the actual brake light, but I didn't know that because one of the wires was broken. Once I actually fixed the wires, the brake light stayed on 24/7, so then the running light was actually hooked up to the actual brake light, so whenever I hit the brake lights, nothing changed because the brake lights were already on. It's complicated, but whatever. So now we got running lights on and brake lights. Check that out. Ain't that cool? Now I can go ahead and put the tail light back in the fender, and we can put the fender back on the bike.
Excuse me, doctor. You do circumcision?
I can. What's the matter? Didn't expect that answer?
Are you sure you can?
I can't promise that you'll survive from it, but I can do it.
That'd be a ripoff.
Yeah, rip off that foreskin.
Oh, you got the...
So black to black, red to white, blue to purple. Actually, I have a better idea, just because I'm a nice guy. See, I got this here wrap. I'm gonna put it around each one of these things, so that way whoever works on this in the future doesn't have to peel off electrical tape and deal with some sticky shit, because everybody hates sticky shit. So now we got these. So now I can unplug each one of these, put one of these things around it, and then after that, we wrap it up. Because kids, remember to wrap it up. 'Cause if you don't wrap it up, your dick's gonna look like cauliflower.
What? What's going on? Well, your dick.
Yeah.
Why your dick gonna look like cauliflower?
If you don't wrap it up, your dick gonna look like cauliflower.
Oh, because you get that Russian
Yeah.
disease. Rot your cock off.
Yeah. There we go. That's one. Oh, shit. Look at that. That's so fancy. Now this is all done. It's all wrapped up, so that way it doesn't ground and pop a fuse. So now we gotta tuck all this back in. Fuck. There we go. Yeah.
Yeah.
Now it should work.
Alright.
Running light, brake light. Whoa. We almost done. So close. My motorcycle is back together. Whoa. Oh man, it has been quite some time since I have ridden a bike, especially motovlogged. God, it's been a while since I motovlogged. Ooh, wait, hold on. I forgot. I got myself a ram mount. Ooh, check that out. Oh man. A little better. Woo! All right. Bike is looking pretty good. It's nice to have everything back together now. We got working running lights, hell yeah, and brake lights. Freshly wrapped exhaust. The bike is sounding good. It's cleaned up a little bit. This is the first time that I've actually ridden this bike in I don't know how long, months. I'm gonna treat this kind of like a little bit of a test ride and review. I'm mainly just gonna talk about the few things I like, the few things I don't like, and why I'm selling it, and why you guys might actually be interested in it. So yes, I am actually about to make a sales pitch. Sorry. Let's talk about it. My 2016 Victory Highball. The bike overall is just fucking awesome. It really is, and that's not even me trying to be biased because it's my bike. I've ridden a few bikes. I've had a Harley Sportster 1200 in the past. I've had a Yamaha Warrior 1700 in the past. That bike was really cool too. But this one, it's just something about Victory. I don't know what it is. Something about Victory. We're gonna go ahead and we're gonna go to the gas station real quick. Oh god, the exhaust is smoking. From the heat wrap. Do you smell it? How I talked about it had a smell before? Anyways, it's just something about this bike, like the personality that comes with it. Every bike has a different personality. You have your big ass Harleys, you got your Groms, you got your sports bikes, and then you got this, which is something a little bit different. This to me is like the American dream of motorcycles, or what would have been the American dream. The standard for motorcycles, especially cruisers now, comes from Harley, and Harley's pretty much got that shit down because they've been around for so long. But unfortunately, Victory actually isn't around anymore, which is extremely disappointing considering that this is actually a bike that has like one of the biggest engines you can get, which is extremely satisfying to ride. 106 cubic inches is definitely no slouch. Enough torque for you to pretty much do anything you want, which is actually just one of the benefits to riding a cruiser or anything that's a V-twin. It's just the amount of torque. It's just such a satisfying amount of torque. Like you just go. Everybody talks about the freedom that comes with riding a motorcycle, and it's really just because of the ability you have to go anywhere at any speed, at any rate. Like you just do anything you want, and it just feels amazing. That freedom, I feel like you cannot get anywhere except for a motorcycle. Oh god, this is gonna be a very interesting ride with me trying to actually like stay on track with what I'm talking about, because I get distracted very easily. So we'll see how that goes. And all the turn signals are working now that I got that fixed. Let's go ahead and start with the things that I don't like about this bike, which is going to be very hard to do because there's not a lot of things that I dislike about it. This is honestly a bike that I really like a lot. Like a lot. So much that I'm pretty sad to get rid of it, but I don't like it enough for me to just not get rid of it because it's not my dream bike. Things I don't like about the bike is the rear tire. For a bike that is 106 cubic inches, that is a giant V-twin engine making a lot of torque and a lot of power, but for some reason the bike just comes with like this ultra skinny, like super small rear tire. You would expect a wider rear tire on a bike like this, especially just to go with the amount of raw like personality that comes into it. You would expect it to just be extremely muscly. It's got a giant gas tank, ape hangers. I mean, this thing comes with fucking ape hangers from factory. Of course, they're pretty reasonable. They're not super obnoxious, and they're actually surprisingly comfortable. But you would expect it to just finish out that build with a nice wide rear tire. It's surprising that it doesn't have one. I think that's it. I think that's all I have to say about it. I can't think of anything else that I don't like about this bike except for the fact that the rear tire is way too small. That's it. Besides that, like, it's all good stuff to say. I've ridden the bike a bit. I can't complain about how it rides. It rides phenomenal. It fucking handles. It handles like no cruiser should. I've never ridden a cruiser that handles like this. And I mean, it's nimble. It's heavy. But God, you can just flick this thing around like it's nothing, especially whenever you're riding by yourself. But now the good. Let's talk about the good for this thing. This bike makes a lot of power, as I've mentioned before. It is a fantastic amount of power, actually. In any, like, you can just get it in any gear at any RPM, any moment. You want to go faster, you just give it more throttle. And also, I'm not going to do it because I have Sarah riding on the back of the bike. I don't want to throw her off because she doesn't know I'd be doing it, but it also revs. These bikes love higher RPMs. I've actually read on some forums that Victory's, it's really cool too. Victory, whenever they made these engines, they called them the Freedom 106 because it's 106 cubic inches. The transmission, fucking flawless. The transmission is so smooth, and it's just such an easy bike to ride. The clutch is great. It's a little bit heavy of a clutch, but honestly, like, it fits because it's a big brake handle, big bars for you to grab onto, big bike, and it's all so smooth and it goes together so well. Another thing is the handlebars. I never thought that I would want ape hangers on a bike, but Victory, hello, big surprise, fucking sold me on these ape hangers. These being factory handlebars is such a nice touch for this bike because they really went for like a bobber style look for it whenever they were putting it together and designing it, and I dig it. I dig it a lot because on no other bike are you going to get the experience of just, fuck you, look at me, I'm on the coolest bike there is. It's such a great feeling, especially with the black and white paint on the side of the bike where it says Victory. It's such a nice touch. The whole bike, it has white wall tires, and it all just blends together so well. If you ride on a highball for the first time, the one thing, or if you even look at a highball, if you're even considering buying a highball, one thing you're going to notice is the handlebars being like obnoxiously tall, and it's okay. I thought the same thing. I was hesitant about getting a bike with handlebars this tall because I didn't want that image, I didn't want that ride discomfort, but once I got it and I rode it around, the taller handlebars actually make the bike handle phenomenally. I don't know what it is, but the thing just leans and it wants to go. And also something else about this bike is that there's an analog speedometer with needles, but there is a tachometer inside of the speedometer that is digital, so it actually gives you a digital readout of what your RPM is. That's pretty neat. The bike also has a gear indicator. The bike actually does have mufflers on it though, I will say that. I bought some universal mufflers off of Amazon and I slipped them on down there whenever I did the heat wrap, and it all blends together surprisingly well. The bike just looks good. And the bike is also a 6-speed, just to let you know, and it is pretty comfortable on the interstate as well. It doesn't rev super high in the 6th gear. It drops the RPMs quite a bit that you're probably not going to use 6th gear often. As far as bikes go in the future, one bike I swear to God I will own one day. If it's not the next bike, it'll be sometime soon after it, and I'll probably never sell it because at that point I would have no reason to. But my dream bike is the Ducati Diablo. It is hands down probably the most beautiful, the most sexy. Alright, let's turn around. Oh yeah, alright, that's something else we can talk about. This bike is very nimble, but if you have to turn it around in a tight space, that blows. You know what? I don't even know if I want to talk. We're just gonna relax and ride this thing a little bit. And we're gonna enjoy the sounds. I'm gonna try and get some good sounds out of this thing for you. ahead and take this thing on the interstate and see how it does. I haven't actually taken it on the interstate. Wow, this thing rides perfect on the interstate. Sitting pretty at 2,500 RPM, going 70 miles an hour. This actually is not bad. This isn't bad at all. This is honestly pretty pleasant. There's not even a windscreen, and it's honestly a pretty pleasant bike to ride. I could do this. Usually if you're gonna ride a bike on the interstate, you have winds just beating the shit out of you. And it just gets exhausting, like physically exhausting, because you're anticipating a punch the entire time you're riding on the interstate. But this isn't bad. You know, I guess this probably isn't really an appropriate place to do it. But if you're not watching me on Twitch, you definitely should, because whenever I get done riding this bike, I'm definitely hopping straight onto Twitch. I don't know. It's tough. It's really hard to ride a bike. Like, whenever you're off of a bike, oh wow, I thought that was a Ferrari at first. No, it had Ferrari taillights. Fucking Mustang. Anyways, it's really hard to ride a bike and tell yourself that you're gonna sell it. It's really easy to be off of a bike, looking at it and telling yourself that you're gonna sell it. But just whenever you get on it, it's so difficult because you just get so connected to it. Maybe I will keep this bike. I don't know. Shit. I really wanted to sell the bike to try and make another investment towards the channel. There's something I'm looking at right now that would be honestly like really, really, really cool for the channel, and it'd be a good long-term investment. And plus, most people on the internet don't like motorcycles, period. Motorcycles are such a niche thing for people to like be interested in that it just makes it's hard for it to make sense to have a fucking motorcycle for a YouTube channel. Like, motovlogging is dead. I'm trying to find a reason to keep the bike because I really do love the bike. I really enjoy it. It's so unique, and there's not many of them. Because, like, if you don't know, Victory is actually discontinued. They don't make motorcycles anymore. Victory is actually part of Polaris. I don't know when I'll ever see one again. I have this really weird, like, desire to own things that are just weird. Like, super odd, uncommon, you know, that kind of thing. Like having a 1 in 300 motorcycle where there's only 300 of them made. Like, that sounds pretty awesome. I don't know, it's just something about having like very limited or special items or vehicles. It sounds like so much fun and such an experience to me, and I love having something unique. Just like the Z, for example, there's hundreds and thousands of Zs in the world, but my 350Z, find another Z that looks like mine, which, okay, there's a few of them. You know, some of them have wings, some of them have bash bars. Find a car that looks like mine in that color that's also pro-charged. First of all, how often do you see a pro-charged 350Z? Well, first of all, you don't. They're not common. They're very uncommon, actually. Second of all, that car has been put together by me, and there's not any other car like it. Alright, please don't rear-end me. I'd prefer not to get squished.
You wanna go to Eskimos?
Eskimos?
Yeah.
Okay. Shit, alright, we're going to Eskimos. Cool. Wow, that exhaust was hot. Well, shit. Alright, well, I guess our ride is coming to an end. We're going to get ice cream, and then shortly after that, we'll be back at the shop, and the bike will be parked up, ready for, I guess, its next owner. I'm not 100% sure if I want to sell it yet. I haven't decided. Every time I get something unique, I always regret selling it afterwards. Like, if I still had my Yamaha Warrior, like, that would be wild. It would be insane because those bikes are just awesome. They're so cool. But then so is this bike. I don't know how I feel. I'll probably just have to figure it out. See if I can maneuver around these cars very slowly. It's a balancing act. Oreo gourmet waffle cone. Wow, that sounds pretty solid. Let's see if we can get a good finished picture or something over here at the back. Let's see if it'll look good. Like right here. Ooh.